Hi, I'm Dr. Phil Wright, giving you common sense solutions to everyday problems. And today we will be discussing things you thought were true about health that are actually not true. Now, we hear a lot of different things from so-called experts and health experts and different pundits about what is good for us and what is bad for us, and we have a lot of different disinformation. And sometimes the things we heard, let's say 3 to 5 years ago, that were bad and or good for us are now good or bad for us. It's all confusing. But let me shed some light on some things that we have recently found out that are actually true and or not true about the things that we thought were good or bad for us. Let's begin. Now, we've heard that drinking juice is better than drinking a cola or soft drink, and that you should be drinking juice and juice is healthy. But the fact of the matter is, if you drank a 16-ounce glass of juice, it's no different than you drinking a 16-ounce glass of cola, because they both contain sugar. The difference is the juice has what is called fructose, but that's fruit sugar, versus the glucose that's in the cola, which is basically sugar. But the fact of the matter is, as far as your blood sugar is concerned, it will still react the same way whether you're drinking juice or if you're drinking the cola. It's absolutely no difference. And in that regard, there's no difference between the two in terms of how detrimental it can be for your blood sugar and your health. The only advantage to drinking juice is that it may have some fiber, but that fiber does not negate the detrimental effect of having the sugar going into your bloodstream. So in that regard, drinking juice is no better than drinking cola. Now let's stay with the fruit thing for a second. When people say fruit is healthy, fruit does provide different vitamins, like a banana provides potassium and an orange provides vitamin C. So in that regard, you do get healthy benefits from eating fruit. However, fruit still contains sugar. If you eat an orange or if you eat a banana, you're eating a lot of carbohydrate, which equals a lot of sugar. True, they have fiber, but still they have sugar. So you still will have an effect on your blood sugar if you ate a lot of fruit. Fruit does have an advantage, again, with the fiber, but then you still have the sugar that acts on your bloodstream and your blood sugar. Now, there are some different fruits like strawberries and blueberries that have fiber and they act a little bit differently, and they have a lower carbohydrate count so they don't spike your blood sugar. But still, for the most part, apples and papayas and bananas and grapes, things like that, have a lot of sugar, and it's almost the same as you eating candy in some cases. In fact, a lot of fruits, sugary fruits like raisins, have a nickname such as the candy of the fruit world, or the candy of nature. So what that tells you is you're eating a sugary snack that is almost akin to you eating a candy bar in a lot of cases. Now, we've heard that eating cheese is unhealthy. We've heard that for years. But there is a recent study that had been conducted. Actually, the results are recent, but the people were tracked over a 20-year span of time. And they tracked over 40,000 subjects. And what they did was they monitored the different things that they ate in terms of cheese. And they concluded that there is absolutely no conclusive evidence that links cheese and heart disease. And we had been told that forever, that cheese was high in cholesterol and it was something that was going to be a detriment to your heart health. But we found out that that's not true. There is no direct link between eating cheese and heart disease. So it's okay to add cheese to your sandwiches and your pizza. Of course, you don't overdo anything, because that's just not a good thing, but there is no conclusive link to cheese and heart disease. The next thing, eating late. There's been a misconception that says if you eat late, you're going to gain weight. However, that's been proven to be not true. Eating late has a negligible effect on your weight gain and weight loss. In fact, it's more important the number of calories or carbohydrates or fats that you eat in a day than when you eat them. And science bears this out. So if you're trying to lose weight, it's not a good thing, of course, to eat your meals late because you don't have a chance to burn off the calories or the carbohydrates or whatever. But not in terms of the amount of nutrients you're taking in. In other words, it's all about the number of nutrients you take in a day, not when you take the nutrients in. That's the key thing. So when people say they gain weight because they eat late, or you will gain weight because you eat late, that is totally not true. Another point, people talk about calcium being necessary for your health. Now, some calcium is needed for health and body processes in your bones, but too much calcium without magnesium and vitamin K2 to help the body absorb it causes calcium to become a rogue in the body. Now, what do I mean by that? That means that calcium will circulate through your bloodstream and your body will try to find a place to store it. So since it can't store it all in bones, what it will do is it will deposit it in places like your joints, your arteries, causing hardening of the arteries, also in the lens of your eye, causing cataracts. So people that advocate you taking a lot of calcium and not taking magnesium and K2 are very, very much so setting you up for future problems. So it's not a good thing for you to be taking a lot of calcium and drinking a lot of milk. And this also is important if you're taking mega doses of vitamin D, because vitamin D activates calcium into the bloodstream, and you need vitamin K2 in order to shepherd that calcium into the proper places that it needs to go. So too much calcium would literally cause you to calcify, and maybe the root cause of a lot of different maladies that people are suffering. Now, another point is that people will always say that as you're getting older, you will become feeble. That is not a given. What happens to people when they get older is that they just stop exercising and they stop using muscles and they lose functional strength. That's the reason why that happens, and it's not a function of age. Now, the greatest example of a fountain of youth is exercise and weight training, because if you do this, you'll keep your body viable. But if you stop doing it, you have the symptoms and the syndrome of use it or lose it. So that's what's happening to people when they get older, and you see them being frail and they're bent over and they fall and they can't get up. It's because they have lost their functional strength because they have not exercised their muscles. They stopped doing it. For some reason, we have been tricked into believing that as you get older, you should exercise less. And the opposite is true. Now, these are just some examples of some things that we've been told that are incorrect. And in future editions of this, I will come back and I'll give you some examples of some more things that we've been told that were not true. And we're going to try to dispel some of these myths and get some of these things turned around so that we can affect ourselves and have a better future and a better present. I'm Dr. Feelright. Thank you for listening, and make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Have a great day.